Namami Saraswati Devi Vidya Buddhi Samarjanim Satyam Vasme Kante Karo Kripa Hetya. Paramadharnya Swamiji, respected Swamiji, I am sorry to say that I have to leave for Darbhanga along with the professor to whom you people know, Professor Godavarish Mishra. He has come from Nalanda to my residence, and that's why uh, the program uh, has changed. Otherwise, I am in habit of attending the entire session, and I hardly leave in between. But this time, with due apology to Swamiji and other friends, I heard few lectures. I confess that I did not hear all the previous lectures, but I heard the inaugural address and the address given by my friend Professor Paneer Selvam. And certainly, I do not want to waste time in naming the galaxy of scholars present in Vishwa Mohan Foundation. Actually, I had been and I wanted to be, and I promised Swamiji that I will come at my O. But due to certain unavoidable reasons and engagements, I prefer to be with you on virtual mode. So I would like to come on the theme. So naturally, education is the key to peace. This is very catching, having a depth. The expression is quite a grave one, having a depth one. Education is the key to peace. I had been the student of philosophy. I do love philosophizing. And certainly philosophizing is conceptualizing, as I understand. So naturally, I would like to just analyze or understand the two concepts. One is the education, and the other is the peace. And then I will try to relate one concept to the other. So I do not claim any originality. I do not claim to speak something new. As Wittgenstein contends that originality lies in not only in creating some structure of philosophy, but it also it lies in relating one concept to the other. So I'm trying to relate education and peace and contemplate that harmonious world, peaceful world may emerge. At present, the world is engrossed. The world is suffering from violence. The entire humanity at present in this century, the entire humanity is suffering. So naturally, when a philosophy or a philosopher thinks about the problem, he thinks in terms of suffering. So the suffering is a global phenomenon, and it is only due to some sort of ignorance. If we cultivate knowledge, or if we cultivate certain human values, certainly suffering will be mitigated. By education, education is a concept, and I understand that education is the cultivation of values. It can be understood in two ways. The one function of education or the educated man is to disseminate knowledge, and the other function is just to create knowledge. The educator on the one hand disseminates knowledge. Whatever he has acquired, he distributes. On the other hand, mere distributing knowledge or mere teaching is not the sole work of an educator or the teacher. The other work is to create knowledge, create new knowledge, or newness is not to create a new structure or a new school of philosophy. So Indian educators or Indian teachers were not teachers of the classroom only. Indian teachers, we know that rishis and the Guru Shishya Parampara we adhere, we follow the Guru Shishya Parampara. And the Gurus are the rishis. So this Rishi Parampara is well known in India. One of my teachers, he, while discussing Indian philosophy or while discussing the classical Indian thought, he sometimes spoke, or he has written also, that Indian philosophers or Indian teachers, they suffer from rishi bias, because he had a different attitude. So my contention is that rishis, who are great teachers, they have given Indian philosophy or Indian culture. So education is certainly a cultivation of values. It is not only a bookish knowledge. It is not only a classroom teaching. It is not simply imparting knowledge. Education in Indian context or the Indian terms is a sort of wisdom. So wisdom, and there is a difference between knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge is a rational, but wisdom is a vision. Wisdom is a kind of vision. Now, I come to the second concept, that is a concept of the peace. So, naturally, everybody knows that when there is an absence of violence, the peace prevails. So, that is the peace can be the external peace or peace in the world. That is a must for development. Peace in the world is a must for development. But the most important thing that one should have inner peace. So, if we lack inner peace, if we lack character, if we lack values, naturally, man is a key figure. Man can establish peace in the world, or man can disturb the entire world. If a mad ruler comes, he can spoil the whole peace of the world. So naturally, man is very important. And according to Vivekananda, education can build a man, since education builds is the key to peace, and education is key to build a character of the man. So a man of character is a must in society. So a man of character will have a compassion. And without having compassion, we cannot live peacefully. And if the peace is disturbed, either mental peace, either world peace, the development and the whole situation will be, the society will suffer. And suffering is a kind of moral evil. And suffering in Indian philosophy has been very much discussed and talked, and rishis, they consider that suffering is due to the ignorance. Education alone can dispel the ignorance. Education alone can dispel the sense of suffering. And man, the aim of man is to get liberation, to get moksha. And moksha does not mean that you should transcend the world. You can get liberation living in the world, and I especially prefer Jivan Mukta, and this Jivan Mukta can serve the society. I do not believe in the abstract concept of the moksha. And naturally, a man who has got character, who has got values, can be considered as Jivan Mukta. And especially the India. India is a land of saints and seers. Very many saints and seers, they have sacrificed their pleasures, their household pleasures, and they serve the society. So this I wish that this I have heard several papers, seriously 2 or 3 papers, and certainly I can say that this is a wonderful, successful webinar come seminar. Swamiji has got takes it. He has got a different approach. And whenever I went to the ashram, once I said that, I expressed that I feel a sense of, I am in the circle of divinity. So here also, though my guests are sitting outside, so I in order to participate, I have isolated myself for the time being. So one thing that Professor Paneer Selvam mentioned, that the proceedings should come in the shape of the books. So Swamiji is capable to get it published, and I pray that it should be published, and we will be having some documents on this topic, where education is the key to peace. This is a message for the world. Thank you very much. Thank you all giving me time. Though I had it, I have got guests coming from Delhi, so naturally I take leave from you. My pranam. स्वामी जी मेरा प्रणाम स्वीकार करें. Thank you, sir.